Holy crap, Kuma, are you okay? Do you want to talk about something there? Oh wait, I know. Wow, there's a lot of you. Wasn't expecting that many. How y'all doing? That's a lot of people. Ears! I'm so happy to see you here. How y'all doing? How's your week? Jesus! Solaris! Thank you so much for the 5 gift sub. Also, Kuma, I lost count, but thank you, thank you. Jesus, I wasn't counting on that. I was already nervous as it is before I started. I should probably come out of hiding. How are y'all doing today? Oh, please, no fighting. No fighting! But seriously, how y'all doing? As I said, that was the first editing attempt that I ever did. I didn't do most of the art, but I did all the editing and the writing. Oh god. Oh, that's another emote slot. Thank you so much, Kuma. Oh my god. That's 10 gift subs. Sweet, merciful lord. Hey Mer, thank you for the follow. Jinxie! I'm not even sure where the next emote slot is at, but oh my god, Jinxie. Seriously, you guys are too much. Let me get up closer, nice and personal. Seriously, guys and gals and non-gender conforming, you're all awesome. I love you. I'm trying to start a fight. Seriously, from the bottom of my little flaming heart, thank you so much. For just showing up was all that I could have hoped for. That's just lunatic. That's a level 5, 250% height train. What the hell? What the hell? And there's Hellscythe! Hellscythe! Ah! I'm usually pretty good with words, and I don't have words for that. Except, maybe. Ah! So impressed. Y'all are nuts. I haven't even started the slideshow yet, such as it is. Go back to my normal size, because y'all probably want to see the rest of me. It's been almost a year. Oh, I don't think it's anything super impressive. But one thing I do well is I write. So I wrote my lore down, and then I tried to set it up into easy to digest cards, which I'll get into. Oh, now the alerts are working. Kuma, thank you for the sub. Slayer, how you been? Glad you could stop by. How are you doing? Actually, let me switch to so to actually get to the slides that I wrote out, because I wanted to talk a little bit about my lore and my backstory and the stuff that I've been writing over the past couple of months while sort of learning and getting ready for this. So first and foremost, my full name, Kyru, although Kyru is also an acceptable pronunciation, because I know some people have troubles rolling their R. I also carry the name Relic, which most of you probably already know. Nothing too fancy there. My species, I am an Ember Fox, which is, despite appearances, actually a fire elemental. In the shape of a fox. The closest approximation I could find is the picture. That is what I looked like before I became a people. Grazie mille, thank you so much. My origin is the elemental plane of fire. That's going to be a whole other explanation. Imagine reality as you know it as an egg, with the world and the universe being the yolk. The elemental planes surround that, like sort of the white between the shell and the yolk. I'll have something a little more detailed to explain it later. I had to pull out a map. If any of y'all are D&D aficionados, you'll probably recognize it. My age was actually the hardest part to figure out because time on the elemental planes isn't really tracked. So I had to do a bit of digging around, and it turns out that in the human world, I come out to 240 years old. So old for some, not so much for the others. Yeah, I'm an old fox, but not that old in all things considered. My height, I still struggle with the American height system and the conversion. I know I'm about 5'11" if you count the ears. I think 180 centimeters might be a little undershooting it, though. I could be wrong, though. One of you will probably correct me on that. But yes, if you count me from the tips of my ears to the bottom of my toes, I am 5'11" in American units. I've learned to speak English and French. I speak both fluently. So if any of you happen to speak French, feel free to chat me out sometime. My pronouns are he, him. I didn't feel like I needed to stress that too much, but it's always good to clear that up. Now into the nitty-gritty. My actual class, omelette du fromage, cheese omelet. I could go for an omelet right now, actually. You ever tried ham omelets? New hype emote. I got a very appropriate one. Thank you for the hype train. You guys are absolutely crazy. That's big hype train. I'm gonna have to ask Vivi for more emotes. Actually, I might already have them. Congratulations on the debut, my lovely sibling. I have to get back to her. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Kuma, and thanks so much for all the gifted stuff. I hope you have an awesome day at work. Have to catch up sometime. Speaking of Quack, at some point I need to introduce y'all to Goose Goose Duck if you play Among Us at all. Goose Goose Duck is just better. And it's having a bunch of updates, but that's neither here nor there. Where was I? Ah yes, my class. I would actually be classed as a mage, or an arcanist, with specialties in fire magic and abjuration magic. Abjuration is the school that governs protective magics, barriers, but also banishing and dispelling. And all that kind of stuff. That's sort of just the roundabout, but I want to get into some deeper details, which I happen to have written out here. The Goose Goose Duck in his house. Hell yeah. Actually, I might be playing that tomorrow, but again, that's neither here nor there. To get sort of into the more nitty-gritty of me as a person and as a character. The Ember Fox fire elemental species. Ember Foxes resemble their candid namesakes, save for the flames that make the fur and the tips of their long whiskers flicker and glow. But I've since gained the ability to assume human form through my pact with an Elder Wizard. This has both its upsides and its downs. But all in all, I think I've gained from the transformation. My origins, the elemental plane of fire. Specifically, I come from a place called the Cinder Wastes. The Cinder Wastes is a vast expanse of black ash. Think of a giant desert like the Sahara, but it's all black ash. It is possible for visitors to traverse it, but it's as deadly as the hottest desert. Walking across the waste is like walking across hot coals. My sanctum is located out in the waste, specifically along the edges of the Fountains of Creation. Haru, thanks for the follow. I'll show you on the map next. How was it follow? I get that sometimes. I bounce around so many friend streams that sometimes I think I click the button and either it doesn't take or I get caught up in the moment. Important notes that you'll probably see on my design that I need to pull up. The first of which being this jewel that I wear around my neck. This is called the Heart of Flame. This jewel, what it does is it allows me to retain my elemental nature while in human form, so I'm particularly resistant to heat, but I don't like the cold, among other things. It also lets me transform back and forth, but I prefer to present myself in this form because the fox lacks the vocal cords to speak. And another important item, down along my hips, the Golden Watch, which has two purposes. One, I thought you mentioned that. It looks cool. What the Golden Watch does is it allows me to keep time in the human realm, specifically in the part of the world where I'm connected to. But it also serves as my gateway to and from, which means that I can travel to the realm of the humans and back to the plane of fire in my sanctum, more or less at will. Also shiny. Look at the shiny. So shiny. Oops, I'm off screen. Get back here. Also, credit to Sketchy Artsy for the illustration. She's a very, very sweet illustrator. Some of you probably already know her. Look out for magpies. Magpies are flammable, so I'm okay. I wanted to elaborate a little on my origin. So I found this map of what the elemental planes look like. Now imagine the material plane is reality as humans know it. So Earth, solar system, the universe, everything sort of exists in that sphere from my perspective. Around that, sort of outside of perceivable reality, are the elemental planes. Papa Tyro, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. So you got your plane of water, your plane of earth, your plane of air, your plane of fire. And overlapping, they're not really daily planes, they're sort of overlapping borders that form their own planes of existence. I exist in the Cinder Waith, sort of in the far east along the Fountains of Creation. Kemi! Hello, hello! How you doing? Are you on break right now, aren't you? I'm glad you could make it. You missed my little intro video, but I could probably play it again later if people want. I still have to go through the expression showcase, but first things first. Also, I have this habit of sort of speed talking when I'm going over expositions, so if I need to reiterate anything, do let me know. But getting into the more personal details, my hobbies, which I think is 2 tiles over for me. I'm on break right now. My hobbies, as you might have guessed, include things like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Exalted, basically tabletop dice rolling RPGs. Now, specifically, I love character creating. As you may have noticed, writing is something of a forte of mine, though it requires the right amount of inspiration. So I like to make characters. I also like to just make treasures, like various magical items within those rule systems. I find it fascinating to play around with numbers and stuff like that. Just things that I do in my spare time. At some point, I don't know if I'll do it on stream or off, but I wanted to start making my siblings into Pathfinder characters. I already have ideas for how I would make some of you. And I find just the notion of writing down someone's being into a sheet that you can browse and sort of relate to. It's something that, it's a mental exercise, and I do very much adore it. For video games, I have been playing JRPGs for a very, very long time. To emphasize this, it's not the first JRPG that I played, but the one that really got me into the genre was Dragon Warrior 3 on the NES, so we're talking like 1980s. That was sort of the first JRPG that really got me looking into like systems and buildings. And Kemi, thank you for the gift sub. So many gift subs today, holy cow. I'm not even sure how to react, but I love you all. Let me get close up here. Thank you for the gift sub, Kemi. Where was I? Right. I play Final Fantasy XIV, where I am a red mage main, unsurprisingly. I also play warrior. Like most people here, I also play Genshin Impact. I am very much a Ganyu and Yuemiya shrimp. Some of you might remember when I threw 40,000 Primo Gems at Ganyu. And when she comes back around, I'll probably try and do it again. I'm also kind of fond of games like Pokemon or Monster Rancher, like games where you sort of raise monsters. But that sort of falls under the RPG genre. It's very similar in style, where you just sort of build up monsters and fight them. I may try and play Monster Ranch on stream at some point. I've been trying to find a way to get more viewer integration with it. Moving on. Anime. My favorite anime. Record of Lodoss War. Very hard to find, kind of obscure, very sort of medieval fantasy-ish with magic. But if you ever get a chance, I wholeheartedly recommend it. It's really good. Haven't seen that one? If you can find it, I've been trying to find a legit copy for ages that isn't digital. Like, I wanted a physical DVD or Blu-ray or something that I could watch whenever I want without having to worry about DRM. Kyru, thank you for the follow. As far as favorite games go, my absolute favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy VI. Congrats on the debut. Thank you. Yeah, Final Fantasy VI. I will throw hands. Best JRPG of all time. Yes, 6. And I have the Pixel remaster, and I will be playing it on stream. Because I know a lot of people's first Final Fantasy experience was 7. And 7 is a very valid Final Fantasy. I loved it. But 6 is sort of where my heart lives. And I plan to play that in the near future, either after 10 or maybe after 4. We'll see. But that's coming up in the future, so if you're into Final Fantasy, look forward to it. I know I am. That was hobbies. Also, illustration by the nice, comfy artist Maru Kano. Some of you probably know her. Very comfy streamer. And very comfy artist. I wholeheartedly recommend. Next. What was next? Oh yeah, my personal goals going forward, and my content. Most of my content is going to be RPGs, like JRPGs, action RPGs. I want to branch into Metroidvanias. If any of you have ever played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, awesome game. Really very hard to find though, without emulating. I do have Bloodstained, but I couldn't get it to work last time, so I'm going to have to work on that. I also play MMORPGs. This was before I started playing Lost Ark, so I actually do play Lost Ark now. I may try and stream it at some point once I get my bearings. It's sort of a lot to wrap your head around. If any of you play Lost Ark, there's a lot to absorb. I also like to play comfy games like Stardew and Sunhaven. Sort of games where you can be... They're kind of sandboxy, where you can be creative and not necessarily combat oriented, or even wish to a little combat, but it's not sort of the main focus. I also want to try a variety of games. I have another sibling who is trying to get me to play Phasmo. Spoiler alert, I startle easily, and I've not played Phasmo much, so if I ever get into those kinds of games, it'll be a jump fest. I won't need a jump scare redeem, because it'll happen automatically. Big stretch. For future goals in the channel, I'm in the process. I was hoping to have it done before I started streaming today, but it's not quite there yet because it's been a long week. But I want to set up a community Discord. And I'm still working on formatting and rules, so maybe sometime in March. Probably sometime in March. I'll keep updates on that, and I'll eventually post a link down in the panels below. I also want to learn to play Minecraft creatively. I know a lot of people play. I have it installed. I have never actually touched it. So I will get at some point. Everrise Cyber, welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Are you recovered from It Takes Two? Creeper. Other things I want to do. I play a lot of RPGs on stream, and especially the older ones don't have voice acting. So I kind of want to improve my ability to narrate and storytell. I was cleaning, sorry I didn't make it sooner. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Minecraft. It's on the to-do list. Along with, like I said, improving my storytelling and narration. I think Jinxie's the one who needs to recover. Drowning the Fox wasn't removed. I suspended it for today because I know y'all will drown me if I don't. But it will be back tomorrow. Thank you for the hydrate. Among other things I want to do, I want to add more interactive elements to the channel. I'm sort of a big fan of doing things with viewers and just having the viewers be able to interact with whatever's going on stream. So I want to find more ways to integrate, and I'll be performing my first experiment in that a little later, once I finish the Expositional Onslaught. I also want to do more collabs with my siblings and my friends. That goes without saying. I have a Switch, I have Mario Party All-Stars. I don't have a capture card yet, though. It all looks real great. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to rerun the little intro video after while I set up for the other thing I have planned. Just for those who may have missed it, because it doesn't look like much, but it's sort of everything I learned in the last couple of months when it comes to editing. Also, yeah, games with viewers. I'm sort of big on that as a viewer. I like when streamers have games with viewers when possible. Not all the time, but like when the occasion arises. I'm open to suggestions. I think right now I only have marbles on stream, and I installed crowd control for what I'll be playing later. So if anyone's got any ideas, I am always open to that. I think that covers the goals section. I'm not forgetting anything, right? Don't think so. Next. Credits. The people who made everything that you see here today possible. There is, of course, without saying, my awesome VTuber mama and designer and artist Tofu, who is in the chat, I believe. She helped me design and drew the model and did an amazing job at it. I'm super, super happy with how it turned out. And to bring it to life, Rolly Bun, who is, I believe, busy at the moment. But yeah, she did an awesome job on the rigging, and I'm going to show off the expressions now, actually, because I can do things. I can do things, like when I play Phasmo. This is my Phasmo face. Like, Ghost's always trying to kill me. I swear, the last time I played Phasmo, the ghost came after me every other game and killed me. Why would they do this? Why? Why would they kill such an innocent fox? Seriously, who would do this? Look at this sweet face. Why would you hurt this? I love the sweat drop. I love it too. I also love the little blue shading around the eyes. I also play a lot of games like Path of Exile. And if you think Genshin Impact RNG drop rates are terrible on artifacts, you haven't played Path of Exile. And I get a lot of terrible drops when I play Path of Exile, or I just die for no reason. And then I get mad. Like, angry. I don't get angry very often, but it happens. Bad drops just being deleted. Rolly! I was just talking about you. Path of Exile is RNG garbage. It really is. I'm glad you could make it. I'm not actually angry. I'm merely showing off the angry face. This is probably more accurate right now. Congrats on the debut. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're having an awesome day. You look so sassy when you're mad. I kind of am. Like I'm sort of a snarky, sarcastic person when I go. Like I can get very passive aggressive when I get mad. So it's very appropriate. But I have one more trick that I really love. And it's appropriate now that Julie is here. For the longest time, thank you for the follow, Ferdinand. I'm going to call you Ferdinand. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. One little thing that I used to have like a full model channel point redeem to show off. I might keep it there just for posterity. But I don't need it now because I can do this. I can move my tail. Or I can go the other side. He'll slide a snarky sass comment that won't hit until like 30 minutes. So, yep. See, Bear knows my game. Bear knows my game. But yes, I can move the tail. Makes me super happy. Big fluffy flaming tail. It is a big floof, and I'm super proud of it. I have to show it off. Gore Hangout Quest flashbacks. Kinda, actually, now that you mention it. Yeah, I can sign God. Yai Miko, are you listening? You know where to find me. My door's always open for you, Yai. Anytime you want some company there, mama. Oop, no, I gotta get bigger. Like anytime Mommy Yai wants to drop over, I'm happy to entertain her. Right. Further down the credits, my emotes, all of them, are made by Evie Art, or Vivi. Most of you probably know her. Super comfy streamer and artist. And she does super cute emotes. I've actually got two more. I have two more non-animated and two more which are intended to be animated coming down the pipe when she can get around to them. But I don't want to rush her. Whenever she's got time. Whenever her wait list clears up. The layouts. The layouts were actually free to use, but credit to Lorelane VT, who I have not caught live yet. She's an OWL VTuber, and she also does commissions for things like overlays. But the ones that I'm using now, the ones that I have been using for the last couple of months, were free to use. As for the transitions that you've seen, the pentagram transitions, those were made by Spooky on Twitter. Those are also free to use, but I think he does custom commissions. Spooky does a lot, and I mean a lot, of free VTuber assets. So if you're ever looking for things like transitions or alerts, look him up on Twitter and check out his coffee. He has a lot of just free to use. All he asks is credit, which, very fair. Remember, credit your artists. Always credit your artists. As for the intro video, I can only take partial credit for it because a lot of it is just screenshots that I edited. Except for the writing. The writing is all mine. Is there anything else? The music came from another game which I plan to play. Actually, backtracking the games, my second favorite game, not because it's the best game ever, but because it's the first game that sort of got me really thinking about how player choices in a game can matter. And the whole game is just shades of morality based on your choices and actions. Even if you choose all the best choices, your actions can still affect the outcome. Like how you comport yourself in the game affects responses. Special mentions that I want to make. I got where I am today, and I got to meet all of you and all of the wonderful artists who got me to the point that I am now through other content creators that I met. I want to make a special mention to Maya, who is a Hummingbird Fairy VTuber, whom I met almost a year ago, actually. She was sort of my first sort of connection with the VTubing community, and made me realize that this isn't something that you need corporate access to get into. Like, anybody who has the personal resources or just the will to do it can do it. But the important thing is to keep yourself grounded as far as your goals and expectations are. And I like to think that I've done that to the best of my ability. Other credits that I want to pass on, I want to special mention another VTuber named Cloverinari. They are another Fox VTuber that I met, and they were sort of the catalyst. Because at first I didn't know if I could do it. Like, I didn't know if I had the fortitude to do it. To get into VTubing, to stream and all that. And then I saw their debut, and they talked about their story and sort of the path that they followed to get into VTubing and sort of the personal obstacles they had to overcome. And I got to realizing that, yeah, this is something that if I really want to do it, I can do it. And VTubing helped me overcome the main barrier that I had, which was the dreaded face cam. So I got over that hill. And the final hill that I had to get over, I'm going to special mention Ali Mew. Zossi VT, hi, thank you for the follow. I'm going to special mention Ali Mew, who I think was the first Tofu child. But I found her when I was looking into how to VTube. I found her videos on YouTube. They're very informative and very sort of non-convoluted videos about the path that she followed. How she found Tofu, how she contacted various artists, the timeline to sort of get herself off the ground. Fellow Fox VTuber. Hey, Fox VTuber. Awesome. There's so many. There are so many Fox VTubers, but we're all different and unique. That's sort of what's exciting. Every Fox VTuber that I've ever met has been different in some way. And yeah, it's through Alimu that I found Tofu, and through Tofu that I managed to find everyone else. Like all the artists and my awesome, awesome family. Yeah. So with all that, this is where I am today. That's how I found my Mama Tofu too. And all. Yeah, I think a lot of people found their way here through Alimu. Tracking looks a little odd when I take a drink of water. But yeah, that's the story of where I came from and how I got here. I'm going to revisit a game that I tried to play on my very first stream, but this time with some added extensions. So I'm going to go back to... I'm going to rerun the intro video one more time. For those of y'all who may have missed it, while I attempt to set up... this game, because it's a bit of a convoluted setup. But yeah, I'll be right back.